And now back to Katie Lim Hodgepodge, also airing on Lakes TV3.
That's right. It's another edition of Hodgepodge on this July 20th, 2020. Hodgepodge brought to you as always by Partnership for Health. And on the, I believe it's the third Monday, isn't it, Carrie? Third Monday of every month, we get to speak with Carrie Johnston, the president of the Detroit Lakes Chamber of Commerce. Good Monday morning to you, Carrie.
Good happy third Monday.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty beautiful day out there, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. What a great July chamber weather day.
Yeah, I would expect that the chamber president would say that every day is gorgeous in Detroit Lakes and the Lakes area. So it seems like, Carrie, that COVID-19 has impacted just about everyone and everything, including all the events that we're used to in the summer in Detroit Lakes and the surrounding area. And, you know, it's easy to walk with your tail between your legs, but as I skim your website and as I listened during the annual meeting last week for the Chamber, there actually are a lot of events still going on in Detroit Lakes, aren't there?
Yeah, you know, I think the word maybe it's overused, but pivot. We've had to pivot this summer. I think people are spending more time finding new things to do than waiting for the next event, which events are wonderful. We all love them. That's why we love Detroit Lakes, but we've had to do a little pivoting. But there's lots going on. Of course, there's always the great outdoors and things to explore, and we really have things that you can rediscover. In fact, my 20-year-old son discovered the 18-hole Frisbee golf course. They'd gone golfing a little bit before, but now they have 2 different courses in town. He had no idea that they were as nice as they were. So I think sometimes it's a little rediscover and some pivot, but there are still events. There's lots of music going on and lots of things happening, and we can still fill your days.
So tell me a little bit about the Summit Market, because that's coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, we've got our Summit Market. We've partnered with the Holmes Theater and the Becker County Museum, and of course the Chamber. We're all in the same block, so let's get together and market together. So we have a market. This will be our third one. They're every other Wednesday, and it's in the parking lot kind of between the museum and the community center, and we've got about 4 food trucks, ourselves with individual booths, lots of things for sale. And this week the museum is doing a mosaic class that you can do outdoors. So kind of a fun activity you probably won't get to do another time is create a glass mosaic and be outdoors at the same time enjoying.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, you mentioned events having to pivot because of COVID-19. When we come out to the Summit Market on Wednesday, what kind of pivoting can we expect to, as we keep safety in mind, but still enjoy the outdoors and the event?
Exactly. It's fun to be outside, and we do recommend masks. We've got hand sanitizer. Of course, social distancing is a little easier to do when you've got a whole parking lot to spread out. So there's a little bit of a pivot to that, but also just a great opportunity to do something a little different, do some shopping, support some nonprofits, and grab some lunch and get back to the office.
We've gotten very used to online meeting. I mean, we're hosting this conversation on Zoom, and your Women's Edge series was supposed to be an in-person series, and you've pivoted. We'll continue to use that word. You've pivoted that series, and that's now online, and the first one's coming up on July 29th, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So that is the end of the month. So the first one we've had to pivot. We had one in March. We rescheduled our May, but we're definitely doing it in July. So July 29th at 3 p.m., we're going to hear from Mariah Prusha. And if you know Mariah, she's from the Fargo area. She's really active in media. You'll probably hear her podcasts or radio casts and things that she's doing. But she's also an MMA fighter and a gym owner, and is going to be talking about defining your fight. What are you willing to fight for? What do you need to put more time to better yourself, to better your life, and to really fight for what you want in life? So really excited to hear from her. She's very good, whether it's in person or our live webcast. It's going to be really great. So invite anyone to be a part of that. If you've got a Women's Edge ticket, you need to register that. So call me at the Chamber, and I'll get you the information how to register your ticket and make sure you get that Zoom login. If you don't have a ticket, we'll get you one. So for $25, you can just listen to that and be a part of that Zoom cast on the 29th for $25.
Let's talk a little bit about Crazy Days, because bound and determined, this is going to happen in Detroit Lakes. It seems like a lot of these events in other communities have been canceled. But as I continue to talk with folks that are organizing this event, they are bound and determined to make it happen.
any way we can support retailers and the retail community of Detroit Lakes, the better. Of course, there are lots of rules we need to follow and guidelines and trying to keep everyone safe, but we also know our downtown retailers are trying their hardest to keep their employees and their clients safe. So we think that Crazy Days is still able to happen. It's nice to be out again outside and enjoying the great outdoors. And we hope you can come down on August 11th. It's a Tuesday. It's always the Tuesday of Pine to Palm. If you're a DL person, it's always the Tuesday of Pine to Palm. So come down to downtown Detroit Lakes. We do want you to wear your mask, and we will again have hand sanitizing stations. There's some social distancing opportunities, but come down for food trucks, lots of great deals, and fun to be had downtown DL.
When you speak with some of those retailers who are participating in Crazy Days or who have participated in Crazy Days in years past, are they excited about Crazy Days this year? Are they a little nervous? Are they hesitant? Are they giving you a phone call? I mean, is your phone ringing every couple of hours asking you how is this going to work?
I think they're excited. They've been open for quite some time and able to bring in customers and have worked out their protocols of what that looks like, and the opportunity to come outside and maybe work together with their neighbors is exciting. But they're also willing to again pivot. If somebody is not comfortable coming down, they'll work with you. So if you need a private session, you need maybe the curbside to pick up, to do something, to make sure that you've got a no contact distancing, call your favorite retailer. They're really willing to work with you and make sure you get the services that you need.
We're speaking with Carrie Johnston, the president of the Detroit Lakes Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to take a quick break, but coming back next, we got to talk about your brand new website, gorgeous brand new website. So we'll talk about the Visit DetroitLakes.com website and Carrie Johnston in just moments. This is KDLM Detroit Lakes.
And now back to KDLM Hodgepodge, also airing on Lakes TV3.
Welcome back to Hodgepodge on 1340, 93.1 KDLM, Detroit Lakes, the station you can count on. Hodgepodge brought to you each and every day by Partnership for Health. And our guest today is Carrie Johnston, the president from the DL Chamber of Commerce. And Carrie, I was on your website this morning just trying to do a little bit of recon to see what we were going to talk about today. A big splash of color hit me, brand new website.
Isn't it great? Visit DetroitLakes.com. It actually belongs to the Tourism Bureau, which if you don't know what that is the lodging properties here in Detroit Lakes all collect lodging tax to form a tourism bureau. They use that money for marketing the area. And so the website, of course, is one of the greatest tools they have to market the area. So we partner with them under contract and a good partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. So visit DetroitLakes.com is from Tourism Bureau and Chamber of Commerce, and tons of information on there, and we're so excited to have people check out the new site.
Yeah, as far as the information on the website, I mean, tons is a bit of an understatement. What kinds of things are on the website for people that may be curious or just never knew that information was available right there at visitdetroitlakes.com? Yeah,
so that is really geared towards, of course, tourists, but also you can be a local tourist. So maybe it's your own hometown tourism and just getting out and about. So there's lots of information on things to do and things to see, and of course those events that we traditionally have, but an opportunity to just check out from videos of Detroit Mountain to ice fishing is one of our most popular YouTube videos. People don't always understand what ice fishing is, so they're looking for that resource online. But really looking at where are the parks? How do you get out and about? What are those things that we should add to our bucket list? And so all of that information is on there. We actually update probably daily our events calendar. As you look at the new site, that's going to be continuing to evolve and change. We've got some tweaks. We just launched it, so there's always a few changes to make along the way. But you're going to see lots of information, also the chamber information on our business directory and more of what we're doing and what we're up to. So if you click on that chamber tab, you're going to have lots of information. And then if you've got somebody maybe interested in moving to the area or just trying to find that connect, we've got a little about section. So if you're looking for medical resources, what our education system looks like, how do you find housing, all of those kind of new relocation information all at your fingertips.
Yeah, gorgeous brand new website. Check it out at visitdetroitlakes.com. With the few minutes we have remaining, Carrie, I want to talk to you about the climate of business in Detroit Lakes. You had your annual meeting last week, and as folks went around the room and talked about their businesses, business owners, there's a wide array of maybe positivity and skepticism as we try to battle through this extended COVID-19 pandemic. So what are you hearing from business owners in Detroit Lakes?
Yeah, that was our first ever in 99 years, our first ever virtual annual meeting. So you talk about pivoting. We really had to pivot as a chamber to do something a little different. But speaking with those businesses and others, I think we're just seeing the stress, whether it is having to furlough some employees or be creative with how you make sure that you've got the right employees for the right work, that pivot to make sure everyone's safe. You really have to think everything through, from who's coming in your front door, but also who's coming in the back door. Is it employees? Is it vendors? Is it a repairman? How are you going to keep everyone safe? What we're hearing right now is supply chain. You have to be a little patient with what comes in, whether you're ordering clothing for your retail store or you're trying to get metal for your manufacturing businesses. There is a little bit of a supply chain issue all across the board in some way, shape, or form. So patience, creativity, but also working with your neighbors. Can we look around our own community, our own state, and our own maybe region, and look for those opportunities to work together. So creativity, but having to have a little bit of patience and willingness to pivot.
The state and the federal government have released some funds specifically for small business owners dealing with COVID-19 pandemic issues. Are those things that they can come to you and find resources for? Could you be a central point for business owners who are looking for resources and the right places to go to find some of that stuff?
Yeah, we're not the expert, but we know the experts. So that's kind of where we try to fall in that lane of, let's connect you to that right person. So if you're looking for, they just extended the PPP loans. There's a new grant coming out that we just got monies directly to the county and the city and the local townships. So as they navigate through that, we're going to be that conduit to really help people find that resource. How do you apply for those loans and grants of what's appropriate for your business? And maybe we can just connect you with somebody who's going through that same lane and you can work together. So partnerships and partnering up are also really important, especially in a small community.
Yeah, as a business owner, you want to be 100% focused on your business. And now with this pandemic thing, you're trying to focus on the business, and it's hard to figure out, all of these different resources. So the Chamber is certainly a great resource for business owners to find out about the resources and some of the programs available. So Carrie, I want to thank you for joining us this morning on Hodgepodge. Have a wonderful Monday. It should be a gorgeous week in Detroit Lakes, and get out and enjoy the beautiful day.
All right, thank you, and shop local.
All right, thank you so much. That's Carrie Johnston, the Detroit Lakes president of the DL Chamber of Commerce. Thanks so much for having us on. This is 1340, 93.1 KDLM.